Hello. Hello.
Okay. Let's play... Wait. What?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to my review of Zootopia.
And I'm definitely not ripping off some other guy. Editor! Much better. Thank you.
That said, this is a review of a movie everyone has talked about. Sort of. So you will see some overlap in opinion.
Well, I'm known for hating everything, so I'm gonna hate this, right? Right?
Well, only one way to find out. So the movie starts off with... Oh, God, is that a children's play?
Screw this movie. I'm not sitting through this kiddie crap.
Judy, you ever wonder how your mom and me got to be so darn happy?
Nope.
Well, we gave up on our dreams and we settled. Right, Bond?
Oh, yes, that's right, Stu. We settled hard.
The hell did they just say?
Well, we gave up on our dreams and we settled. Right, Bond?
Oh, yes, that's right, Stu. We settled hard.
What kind of parent tells their kids that?
What real adult looks at their kid and says, "We're happy because we stopped trying"? Even if you're an overprotective parent, you don't say that because it makes you sound lazy.
What other crap is this movie teaching our kids?
Give me your tickets right now. I'm gonna kick your meek little sheep butt.
Ow! Cut it out, Gideon!
Oh, the basic generic bully that becomes a symbol of injustice this little bunny is going to be.
Called it. You know, I'm so sick of this generic... Okay, statement retracted. Carry on.
So we jump ahead 15 years to her time at the police academy.
Which served to remind me of how bad I did there. How does our little hero do?
You're dead, Bunny Bumpkin. You're dead, Carrot Face. You're dead, Farm Girl.
Welcome to my world, Judy.
Filthy toilet. You're dead, Fluff Butt.
But of course, she trains hard, gets the hero treatment,
And cheat physics.
only to graduate.
Valedictorian of her class.
Valvic, what?
Okay, the story of the weak link working hard and becoming the best is a story often told, but come on!
She's a rabbit, up against animals that simply outclass her, and she got above them all?
Okay, maybe it's because Precinct 1 only takes the best. I'll give this movie the benefit of the doubt. For now.
So after that, we of course have Judy saying goodbye to her family, throw in some casual racism because that's one of the 10 billion messages the movie's trying to tell us, then...
Oh, for goodness sake.
Scares the crap out of your kids.
How's it these things exist in a society that promotes peace and harmony with all species? Is it just outside Zootopia these things are okay to make? What about the Fox residents of Bunnyborough? Are they okay with this? Or did they just not get a say in it?
I just find it extremely forced that they give her a flaw born purely on the basis that she wants to shut her parents up. Which is very realistic and relatable. Damn it!
So after the movie shows off its budget and gives us a cheap joke about budget apartments, we cut to the next day where Judy comes in for her first day on the force, and...
Excuse me?
We get this.
Hi.
Oh, goodness. They really did hire a bunny.
Really, Disney? You couldn't just let this stereotype go? You know, it's bad enough that we're getting exposition from this guy that you... What did he just do?
Oh, you've actually got. There's a
What?
in your neck. The fold. There's.
Here you went, you little Dickens.
Okay, I'm moving on to the next scene before I hurt someone.
So then we meet the chief, see that he's nice to the only female officer other than Judy in the whole precinct. Yes, there's only two, I checked. He's then an ass to Judy, the only new recruit, because she's a new recruit. He then also hands out 14 big cases to 9 other officers on roll call and gives Judy
Parking duty. Dismissed.
So this is framed as the chief being unfair to Judy, tossing her to parking duty on her first day. But I'm going to point out that she's a fresh-faced rookie, straight out of the academy, and these are the biggest cases going on right now. Why would he entrust her with any of them?
If I was him, I wouldn't entrust any of the remaining 5 cases to a greenhorn, top of her class or not. And I certainly wouldn't have her go without an experienced partner. It's just not safe for her, or a smart idea for the chief to even do that. Sorry, movie, you don't get this one. Okay, but giving her that to write tickets is just a meaning. And useless when she can do more on foot. And what if she actually has to... Uh-oh. The dreaded profiling rears its ugly head.
Okay, as a security guard, I have had this thrown at me for half a decade, and I am getting this off my chest.
Profiling suspicious individuals is part of our job as law enforcers, and we are trained to do it well. I'm not going to pretend it's perfect, but I've done it a lot, and I've been wrong many times. But just as many times I've been wrong, I've also been right. And I've been ready because of it. It's a necessary evil and a useful tool when done correctly. Besides, she happens to be...
For my little boy.
I'm such a...
Well, fuck. Hey,
I said it wasn't perfect.
It's just, my boy, this goofy little stinker, he loves all things elephant, wants to be one when he grows up. Is that adorable? Who the heck am I to crush his little dreams, huh?
okay, now I'm back to thinking something's up.
And there we go. You see, everyone? When it works, it works. But props to this guy having a rather extensive operation. But can we arrest him for it? Let's find out.
Hey! All right, Slick Nick. You're under arrest.
Really? For what?
Gee, I don't know. How about selling food without a permit, transporting undeclared commerce across borough lines, false advertising?
Permit? Receipt of declared commerce. And I didn't falsely advertise anything. Take care.
You told that mouse the popsicle sticks were redwood.
That's right. Red wood, with a space in the middle. Wood that is red.
Ooh, sly as a fox. And the bane of my job.
So after some irony radio and a pain in the ass next day that hits really close to home...
Uncool, Rabbit. My tax dollars pay your salary.
Okay, I am sick of that. Yeah, buddy, your tax dollars pay her salary, which isn't high enough to take your bullshit. And guess what? Everyone else pays those taxes too. So take your entitlement and stick it up your furry butt.
And why is she in that thing again? What if there's a...
Real cop. I am a real cop.
You, Bunny!
Sir, if you have a grievance, you may contest your citation in traffic court.
What are you talking about? My shop, it was just raw. Well, are you a cop or not?
Oh, yes, yes! Don't worry, sir, I got this!
That. Well, at least she was smart enough to ditch the thing and run the guy down on foot.
So after some chasing and some more meter maid BS about not being a real cop...
Meter maid! Wait for the real cops!
To which, fuck you, traffic cops are just as well trained as real cops.
She begs the crook using a donut.
Haha, cops love donuts. Can we move on, please? How much you want to bet she gets in trouble for this?
I popped the weasel!
Hops!
Yep, right on cue.
Okay, so call me crazy, but I actually want to diagram this interaction between Bogo and Hops here and see if there's something she should actually get in trouble for.
Abandoning your post, inciting a scurry, reckless endangerment of rodents, but, to be fair, you did stop a master criminal from stealing 24 moldy onions.
Oh, this is too easy.
First off, she was the first responding officer in pursuit of a suspect. Robbery is still a crime, and fleeing the scene of a crime is grounds to pursue a suspect, and she was in her right there. Next, inciting a scurry is probably our equivalent to inciting a panic, and yes, that happened, but it can be argued the suspect is responsible for that. Finally, reckless endangerment of a rodent? Asshole, she saved a rodent's life and caught the guy who almost squished her. What the hell, Chief?
Chief Bogo, please. 5 minutes of your time, please.
I'm sorry, sir. I tried to stop her. She is super slippery. I gotta go sit down.
How the fuck do you keep your job? Yell at him instead of the good cop who did her damn job!
So one of the 14 cases walks into the chief's office, and we all know how this'll turn out. She'll take the case, get chewed out by Chief Asshole.
You're fired.
Or fired, that works too. Only to get stopped by...
I just heard Officer Hops is taking the case.
Assistant Mayor Bellwether.
I'll admit I called it, but in all fairness, the chief is right to put Judy down for insubordination. But yeah, fired she is not. Instead...
I will give you 48 hours.
Yes!
That's 2 days to find Emmett Otterton.
Okay.
But you strike out. You resign.
This was in the trailer, and seeing it now in context, I just... let's just move on.
Clawhauser will give you the complete case file.
So Judy gets her painfully tiny case file, then they drop this bomb on us.
And you're not in the computer system yet, so resources, none. Oh, I hope you didn't stake your career on cracking this one.
What? How the fuck does anyone get anything done around here?
How can an officer not be in the computer system when she's been working for at least 24 hours? How does she do her reports? How does she do her follow-ups? How does she get CPD emails or memos?
How is anything done in this world?
So Judy gets a lead right away, because of course she does, which brings her back to our Fox friend Nick. She pulls some massive BS I want to highlight, and yes, I know I'm banging on a lot about how bad the cops are, but it bears repeating.
Did you just boot my stroller?
Nicholas Wilde, you are under arrest.
For what? Hurting your feelings?
Felony tax evasion.
Yeah, $200 a day, 365 days a year. Since you were 12, that's 2 decades, so times 20, which is
1,460,000, I think. I mean, I am just a dumb bunny, but we are good at multiplying. Anyway, according to your tax forms, you reported, let me see here, 0. Unfortunately, lying on a federal form is a punishable offense. 5 years jail time.
Well, it's my word against yours.
$200 a day, Fluff. 365 days a year since I was 12.
Surprisingly, I only have one problem with this whole exchange. I could nitpick it, but I think I've done enough of that for now. My one problem with it is that Judy started recording him before his rights were read, which, at least in North America, covers that anything that he says can and will be used against him in a court of law. So, yeah, you don't even need a lawyer to get out of this arrest. I'm sorry, Judy, but you fail!
So Nick takes Judy to the place he saw Mr. Otterton.
Crap, it just hit me how stupid that name is.
Mr. Otterton went, and they meet this yak. At least I think it's a yak.
Species check.
It's a yak named Yaks.
Thank you. Wait, yaks? Damn you and your puns, Disney.
So Yaks offers to take Judy to speak to the last animal who saw him, only to discover that this place is a naturalist club.
Just on the other side of the pleasure pool.
Oh boy. Does this make you uncomfortable? Because if so, there's no shame in calling it quits.
I hate you so much right now.
Well, that's how it should be. Granted, it would be a very different rating if they actually had full frontal nudity of animals in it, but I would have respected Disney if they had the guts to do it.
After that little interview, we are left with a plate number, but...
The plate. I can't run a plate. Oh, I'm not in the system yet.
So this massive hiccup in sense was so that the fox would stay with the rabbit? Actually, I'm okay with that. Those two work well together. Carry on.
I know this was also in the trailer, but I personally didn't see any trailers before I saw this movie, so just so everyone is up to speed...
Wait. They're all sloths?
Honestly, I laughed at this, even though it's a cheap shot. But despite that, this scene is far too long for its own good. It's maddening. I'm just going to show you a little bit of it so you can feel your life slowly disappear like I did.
What do you call a three-humped camel?
I don't know. What do you call a
three-humped camel?
Three-humped camel.
Pregnant.
Yeah, I can't take it either, Judy. And that was one of the faster scenes. Still funny, but lasted way too long in my opinion.
Since this apparently took until nightfall to accomplish, their next lead ends up going cold.
That was terrible.
Oh, come on, it's just as bad as some of the jokes in this movie.
Well, without a warrant, Judy is normally stuck here, but she thinks of yet another illegal way around it.
First off, you throw like a bunny. Second, you're a very sore loser.
See you later, Officer Fluff. So sad this is over. I wish I could have helped more.
The thing is, you don't need a warrant if you have probable cause, and I'm pretty sure I saw a shifty lowlife climbing the fence. So you're helping plenty. Come on.
Okay, Judy. Yes, you're right about the probable cause, but you mastermind it, making this shifty lowlife nothing more than an unwilling accessory. But hey, it's okay if the hero does it, right?
So with this scene, you can tell things aren't going so well, but honestly, what's coming up can be summed up in 5 bullet points. Judy meets Mr. Big and pulls the ironic name joke. Yeah, haven't seen that in everything. They do some Godfather jokes. At least I think they do. I've never seen any of the movies. Say skunk butt a lot, which I can't help but snicker at because of the delivery. Judy opens her big fluffy mouth and nearly gets frozen to death until...
Daddy! It's time for our dance! Wait! She's the bunny that saved my life yesterday! From that giant donut!
Of course, because she couldn't just be any shrew. Look, I'm over Deus Ex Machinas, but come on, Zootopia. You couldn't just have Judy beat up all the polar bears and escape like she did with that rhino in the earlier scenes. I mean, yeah, I complained about that then, but at least it was established she can do it, even though it doesn't make any sense at all.
So after all that, Judy gets her clue, and I'll just zoom through it since it's yet another scene that hardly merits much to complain about.
That, and if I keep picking everything apart, this is probably going to be as long as the car review of all 7 Star Wars movies. But there is one thing that happens that is important.
They get chased by the limo driver who suddenly goes savage, their word, not mine, and tries to attack them.
And gets caught, of course, but seriously, I love that scene. It's tense, well animated, and if you want to see it, find it somewhere else. Oh, side note, Judy did call for backup. Let's see how that goes.
What? He was right here!
The savage jaguar.
Sir, I know what I saw. He almost killed us.
Or maybe any aggressive predator looks savage to you rabbits.
You fucking racist chief! If I could, I would have your badge for that comment!
You can tell I'm royally pissed off, but just before I almost screamed my head off at the screen, this happens.
No.
What did you say, Fox?
Sorry. What I said was no. She will not be giving you that badge. Look, you gave her a clown vest and a 3-wheeled joke-mobile in 2 days to solve a case you guys haven't cracked in 2 weeks? Yeah, it's no wonder she needed to get help from a fox. None of you guys were going to help her, were you? Here's the thing, Chief. You gave her the 48 hours, so technically we still have 10 left to find our Mr. Otterton. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So, if you'll excuse us, we have a very big lead to follow and a case to crack. Good day.
I can't add much more to that, aside from fuck those useless cops, fuck that racist chief, fuck this broken system, and good job, Nick, you put them in their place without any violence. Bravo. I'm dead serious, bravo.
After that scene, we get a peek at what makes Nick tick, which I can sum up as...
Fox.
He's got a sore spot for people who get picked on because of their race. But then Nick has a brilliant idea.
It's okay.
No. There are traffic cameras everywhere, all over the canopy. Whatever happened to that Jaguar?
The traffic cams would have caught it.
So they go to see Assistant Mayor Sheep,
Oh, mutton chops.
who's also treated like dirt.
The race relations in this movie is starting to get to me. We get it. Racism bad, equality good. Moving on!
With the traffic cams, they do happen upon some important info.
Who are these guys?
Timberwolves. Look at these dum-dums. Bet you a nickel one of them's gonna howl. And there it is. I mean, what is it with wolves and the howling? It's like...
Howlers! Night howlers! That's what Monches was afraid of! Wolves! The wolves are the night howlers! If they took Monches...
I bet they took Otterton too.
That feels forced. Okay, seriously, who the heck calls wolves night howlers? Wolf is a shorter word. Hell, wolves is a shorter word, means more than one wolf, and is one word, not two. I mean, what the hell, forced misdirection?
So the cameras lead them here, to this very questionable place to build a building.
I mean, I've heard of waterfront property, but that plateau is eventually going to get eroded by the water, and down the building will go. Not a positive selling point. Oh, and you'll never guess how they get inside.
Gary, quit it. You're gonna start a howl.
I didn't start it.
Come on.
You are a clever bunny.
Seriously? All your guards are wolves? You couldn't have hired just one other species to be a guard so that this shit wouldn't work. I mean, give me a break.
I'll get back to the plot in a minute, but there's one thing I need to address, and it's right here. Oh, don't see it? It's right there. That. What the hell is she doing using that as a flashlight? Do you have a proper flashlight, Judy?
Seriously, Judy, I'm a security guard and I've got a proper flashlight on my belt. What the heck?
Moving to the end of the mystery, our little pair find all the missing mammals. Because of course she does. It's well established the ZPD have their collective thumbs up their asses, and they find the person behind it all. None other than the mayor.
Because of course politicians are evil.
But listen to what he says here.
Really? Because I got 12.5 animals here who've gone off the rails crazy, and you can't tell me why. Now, I'd call that awfully far from doing everything.
Sir, it may be time to consider their biology.
What? What do you mean, biology?
The only animals going savage are predators. We cannot keep it a secret. We need to come forward.
Great idea. Tell the public. And how do you think they're going to feel about their mayor, who is a lion? I'll be ruined!
Well, what does Chief Bogo say?
Chief Bogo doesn't know.
I want you to remember this. There'll be a quiz later.
Someone's here.
Is it the middle of the night or something? Why are they calling so late? Oh yeah, for this to happen.
So how do you think they get out of this predicament? Well, they flush themselves down the toilet and call in their findings.
Hauser, can't you see I'm working on the missing mammal cases?
Oh, yes, of course. About that, sir. Officer Hops just called. She found all of them.
Wow, I'm impressed.
At least someone is.
With backup showing up, the missing mammals are saved, but hold on. They are arresting the mayor? Okay, Judy, you do know the mayor isn't responsible for this. Or at least you should, because of the conversation you recorded earlier. I mean, sure, you could get him for kidnapping, but come on. At least ask the guy some questions before you book him.
But no. Mayor's arrested, Judy's a hero, and we all live happily ever after, right? Right? No, of course not, because the mayor didn't do it, but we're not going to address that just yet. Instead,
we have a press conference the cops are holding to give Zootopia the good news about the 14 cases, and Judy is going to address them. Wait, what?
Okay, you can't convince me that asshole chief okayed this. And if it came from the mayor's office, you just don't do this. Ever! I love Judy, but she...
Okay, press conference 101. You want to look smart, answer their question with your own question, and then answer that question.
Not helpful, Nick. But I guess it's better than nothing. So, how does this go?
What can you tell us about the animals that went savage?
Well, the animals in question, are they all different species? Yes. Yes, they are.
Well, she's failing to nerves, but at least she hasn't said anything stupid yet.
Okay, so what is the connection?
Oh, all we know is that they are all members of the predator family.
So, predators are the only ones going savage?
Oh, no. No. It was bad enough when you hit us over the head with it last time. Do not do it again.
It may have something to do with biology.
What do you mean by that?
A biological component, you know, something in their DNA.
In their DNA? Can you elaborate on that, please?
Yes. What I mean is, thousands of years ago, predators survived through their aggressive hunting instincts. For whatever reason, they seem to be reverting back to their primitive savage ways.
Judy, I'm disappointed in you. You were doing so well being this wonderful super cop, but you just broke the biggest rule when it comes to giving a report. Be it a report to your superiors or to the press, you just stated something that isn't a fact.
I just stated the facts of the case.
Okay, screenwriters, I'll play that game. Explain how this...
Sir, it may be time to consider their biology.
What? What do you mean, biology?
The only animals going savage are predators.
A theory about biological predispositions of being carnivorous and their behavior as predators into this.
Thousands of years ago, predators survived through their aggressive hunting instincts. For whatever reason, they seem to be reverting back to their primitive savage ways.
For God's sakes, Judy, you're a cop, not a doctor. Don't refer to your little kid play to explain science you have no business commenting on.
You heard a passing theory from a scientist who's just as lost as you, and you handed it off to the press as a proven fact.
This is easily the worst thing any cop has done in this movie yet. And yes, that includes the chief's antics. Why?
She loses Nick, who was actually going to finish that application, encouraged violence, racism, and fear, and yes, she needed to warn the people something was wrong. But if she stood by the stance that the cause was still unknown, a lot of things going on wouldn't be happening right now. And it's all on you, Judy. Thankfully, you can tell she feels it. But in the end, the world is still on her side as the new mayor, who's obviously the sheep, because that's how politics works, wants to make Judy the public face of the ZPD. Basically, the role model and image of the whole department.
God, does life just love handing things to her?
Of course, the guilt of what she's done, igniting the fires in the hearts of all the scared Zootopians, has her resign outright. And even though I saw it coming, I'll admit it makes me sad to see it.
Though if it were me, I would have taken them up on that offer and used the new influence and popularity to fill in the blanks of the case, but hey, that's just me.
Judy returns to her parents' farm, validating Nick's prediction powers from earlier. Yeah, there was a scene of Nick completely spelling out the future of the movie, but I skipped it. And she learns that her bully turned his life around and is really good at making pies.
I hate pie, but at least his look good.
So this revelation about bullies growing up isn't plot related, but this next part is. In fact, it's the answer to the whole damn mystery.
Hey kids, don't you run through that Mindy Campum Holycythius!
Well, now there's a $4 word, Mr. H. My family always just called them night howlers.
Oddly enough, only one thing bothers me about this. Those plants are fake. But there is a real plant that, if refined correctly, can produce similar symptoms. And it's a coca plant. Specifically, an erythromycin coca plant. But then they couldn't use the fake out from earlier, so yeah, fine, carry on.
So Judy gets her eureka moment, borrows her family car, tracks down Nick, and tells him her discovery, and fuck me, the exchange between them is well done, emotional, and cute.
Where's my love of cute?
Anyway, Judy says she's going to follow the plants and learns the location of our master thief from earlier, because of this blink and you'll miss it line.
You did stop a master criminal from stealing 24 moldy onions.
Hate to disagree with you, sir, but those aren't onions. Those are a crocus varietal called Midnicampum Holycythius.
The Night Howler's technical term is...
Hey kids, don't you run through that Mindy Campum Holycythius!
Well, now there's a $4 word, Mr. H. My family always just called them night howlers.
Point to you, movie, for the subtle foreshadowing, but I'm taking that point away because you used a fake plant, making it impossible for us to follow the clue.
So our master thief is now a master bootlegger when they find him, and as you imagine, he's uncooperative. So...
Awesome. You dirty rat! Why are you helping her? She's a cop!
No. She resigned. So, as a citizen, she's asking a mob boss to ice you. It's just as wrong, but hey, it's okay if the hero does it, right?
But of course he talks. This is a kids movie, and if they killed him, they would be without a lead. Which takes them to a closed subway where a car has been made into a laboratory for making paintballs apparently filled with liquid crazy.
So why was there no evidence of casings at the crime scene?
I know they didn't get a chance to check the home of the limo driver, but the limo themselves they searched and found squat. Granted, they were interrupted, but really? No signs of impact on the victims? No welts? Nothing?
Ah, fuck it. Moving on.
So Judy gets a wild hair up her ass.
Not funny.
Who asked you?
Anyways, she gets it into her mind that she needs all the evidence, so she steals the lab. There's an action scene with some legit tension, tons of broken physics, an instance of realistic physics, you hypocrites, and...
Everything is gone. We lost it all.
Yeah. Oh, except for this.
Yes! Oh, good! But where did you store it, Mr. Empty-Handed Fox? Well, considering where he pulled it from... You know what? Never mind. Move on.
Judy and Nick rush to the ZPD, cutting through a closed museum for some reason.
They could be doing it to throw off potential pursuers, but it's most likely so that this can happen.
Judy! Mayor Bellwether! How did you know where to find us?
Well, glad you asked that before I could point it out, but you seriously should have come to that conclusion earlier to spare you from...
Carrots!
No running in the halls, kids. You might trip on a tension generator.
With Judy unable to walk, she prioritizes the evidence over her, which is a smart move. And Nick, who up until now has always been the smart one, fails at being smart here. All while Mayor Evil Sheep is caught monologuing about her plan, which is basically scare the majority to stay in power.
Because politicians are evil and potentially stupid.
Wolfface here believes that keeping people scared will keep her in power, but here's the thing. If she's not solving the problem while she's mayor, they are going to want another mayor who can. I'd give her maybe 3 terms before her opposition can beat her simply because they promised to end the savage predator problem. Wolfface, you fail! But fail or not, Wolfface did dart Nick with one of those crazy pellets and is about to kill Judy.
Bye-bye, bunny.
Wow. They actually showed the bite in a G-rated movie. Granted, they cut away pretty quickly, but still, point to you movie. It takes some balls to show that.
Point against you movie for the fake out though, and the contrived bait and switch backup plan they couldn't have prepared for. Though I can see them thinking the paintball would be safer not in the gun. What happens from here you can all probably guess. Wolfface goes for framing them instead. Judy shows off her pen, which will actually work this time because she's not a cop at the moment. And the ZPD arrive on cue. The original mayor gets out of jail and his job back.
So, like how it works in the real world.
They make an antidote for the plant, and Judy sells us the moral they most focus on.
Only one of them, though, because if she had listed all of the morals, this would be a 3-hour movie.
Oh, and Nick becomes the first Fox CPD officer, but you already knew that. Oh, but does Chief Asshole change?
We have some new recruits with us this morning, including our first Fox. Who cares?
He doesn't. He assigns the rookie to a partner and gives them an assignment in the traffic division. Which is what you're supposed to do. The only thing that might be a little weird is that he made Nick and Judy partners, but let's face it, that was going to happen. Oh, and they get this massive car, and there is one final scene at the very end that made me laugh my butt off. And I'm not going to show it to you.
And that was Zootopia, my first ever proper review of a movie that wasn't done in the backseat of a car. And what did I think of it?
I'm sure you can tell how I feel about this movie. With all the problems I pointed out, and probably a bunch of other problems that I missed because I'm new to this. So let me ask you something.
Should I like a movie with an interesting, fully fleshed out world, memorable characters with fantastic chemistry, beautiful animation, a unique worldly score, and a children's story that's less philosophizing via blunt force trauma, and more to do with idealistic characters learning a lesson while dealing with a threat and the viewers are along for the ride?
Yes. Yes, I should. And I do. This movie was good and I recommend it.
If you got kids, take them to see this movie. If you don't, still go see this movie.
I do still have to be honest about something though. Out of all the reasons I've just listed, it's not why I want people to see this. Those are all valid reasons, but my personal reason is... Okay, I'm going to sound a little weird here, so heads up to all of you. See it for the fur.
What Zootopia does for the fur is just insane. I learned computer animation a long time ago for video games, but this is still a fact. The hardest thing to animate in a movie like this is the fur or hair. To save on time, hair is usually a solid texture, or, if you want realism, it's mapped to strands, all with the same physics. But Zootopia doesn't do that. They animated every single strand of fur and hair on every single model, and they all have different properties and behavior. That kind of effort is unreal, and it's the reason Disney is still one of the best in the business of animation.
So go see this movie. There's a lot I didn't show or talk about, so when you do go see it, you won't regret it. Okay, in my script it says outro, which means I don't have anything pre-prepared this time. This was my Zootopian review. I hope everybody liked it, and if there is a lot of positive feedback asking people to do more of these, I will do more of these. But I will be perfectly honest with you all here, right now. This was a really, really hard thing to get working. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't want to do it, or that I never want to do this again. The hard work paid off. I think this turned out really well, and I hope you all liked it. But if/when I do another one of these, it's going to take a long time. I conceived of this idea back in August 2016, and I wrote the script between August and September and did all of the shooting throughout the entire block of October. And you're now seeing it in December of 2016. So it took me 3 months to do this. 3 months. It was a lot of hard work. In the end, I would still love to do it again, but understand, if I do decide to do another one of these, /when I decide to do another one of these, it's going to take some time. I'm not going to be able to fire these out like other reviewers can in like a couple of weeks. I don't have that kind of time. And those people, they do it as their job. It's their profession. It's their lot in life. It's not for me. I do it for fun. So it will take me longer to do. But if that doesn't bother you, and if you want me to review something, I'd love to hear your suggestions. Just don't ask me to review stuff that is outright horrible or really hard to get a hold of because, well, I don't really want to do that. Will I review bad movies if you ask me to? Sure. Will I review the kind of things that'll give me nightmares and I'll hate you all for the rest of my existence for forcing me through it? No, I'm not going to do that. Because at the end of the day, I do still want these to be fun. I'm not doing it just solely to entertain you. I do it because I enjoy it as well. So, if you'd like to review, let me know. Leave a comment, send an email, stop me on the street, whatever you gotta do to get my attention. And spread the word. I was really happy to see how many people enjoyed my top 10 list, and I hope that a similar turnout comes around. It'll be a very, very, very positive thing. For me, at least. And if I see that a lot of people like it without any comments, but if the views are there, it'll certainly prompt me to make another one of these. Just like the top 10 list prompted me to make this review. So, next time, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do, especially not in the reviewership side of things, but I'm sure that I'm playing a video game in between this review, so I'll probably get back to that. If not, well, keep an eye out on my Twitter, check my channel every once in a while, because I will have something, because I certainly am not interested in stopping now. So, until then, bye everybody.